A wooden idol to the Baltic god Perkunas has mysteriously appeared on the White Cliffs of Dover in Kent, England. The wooden totem pole was placed over the summer, leaving locals scratching their heads. Now a wildlife charity has appealed for the artist to come forward to launch a request to the local authority to get planning permission for the pagan idol to remain. Kent Wildlife Trust is appealing for help to identify the creator of the work that appeared at a nature reserve in Capel-le-Ferne. Walkers along the clifftop path of the North Downs Way between Dover and Folkestone can now marvel at the 8-foot structure, which is carved from a single tree and is inscribed with the name of Perkunas. Perkunas occupies a significant place in the Baltic pantheon, embodying the might of thunder and lightning. Revered within Lithuanian mythology, Perkunas is intricately linked to oak trees, which symbolise his potent connection to both the elements and the cultural heritage of the Baltic peoples. He is similar in this respect to other pagan deities in different pantheons, such as the Norse Thor or Slavic Perun. The local authority, Dover District Council, has asked that the Trust now seeks retrospective planning permission to keep the object dubbed Perkunas the Pole, and the charity is keen to track down the original artist to shed some light on the mystery. Area manager Ian Rickard said, "The artist behind this would have spent hours painstakingly carving out the details, and we are keen to keep it at our reserve. The artwork seems to have been a hit with walkers who have taken selfies and congratulated us on the installation, but we had no idea how it came to be here. It is a totem mystery. The local council has given us 8 weeks to submit planning permission, and it would be great to track down the person behind Perkunas to get a bit more detail so we can keep it. The planning application will incur a cost to the Trust, so if anyone would like to make a donation to help fund the process, it would be greatly received." Perkunas was often depicted wielding a hammer or axe. His chariot, drawn by goats or oxen, serves as a representation of his power. The god was also linked with agriculture and fertility. This duality encapsulated Perkunas's role as a force of destruction and renewal, mirroring the cyclical nature of life, death and rebirth. Worship of Perkunas was a fundamental facet of pagan Baltic life, entailing rituals and offerings intended to appease and honour the deity. Often conducted during thunderstorms, these rituals involved seeking refuge while offering prayers and sacrifices to Perkunas. With the advent of Christianity throughout the Baltic region, traditional belief systems underwent seismic change as the older religion was stamped out. Perkunas's significance endured, however, albeit in a transformed manifestation. At times he was equated with the Christian god, depicted as a potent figure governing the natural forces. This syncretism allowed for a measure of continuity in Perkunas's veneration, showcasing the tenacity of older pagan beliefs in the face of religious transformation. Writing in the magazine The Spectator recently, Dr. Francis Young, a historian and folklorist specialising in the history of religion and belief, wrote, "As late as the 1780s, Catholic priests were still travelling to remote villages in Lithuania and instructing local people to cut down trees which they had been worshipping. This action mirrors that of Charlemagne, who had a Germanic pagan Irminsul idol to Donar, their version of Thor, cut down during the Saxon Wars." Dr. Young added, "Some mythologists have speculated that the mounted knight known as Vitis, who is the ancient emblem of Lithuania, as well as being used by dissidents in Belarus, was originally the mounted god Perkunas, who was the foremost god worshipped by the pagan Grand Dukes of Lithuania. These rulers clung stubbornly to their pagan rites for longer than anyone else in Europe, only finally accepting Christianity in 1387. Indeed, an earlier attempt to convert one Lithuanian leader, Mindaugas, went disastrously wrong in the 1260s. Realising how unpopular his conversion to Christianity was, Mindaugas recanted the new faith and tore the roof off the cathedral he had built in Vilnius so it was open to the heavens, replacing Christian worship with altars to Perkunas. According to one very unlikely story, he then sacrificed his own daughter to the thunder god in expiation. Dr. Young noted the lack of equestrian elements of the Kent pole, which he said rendered the work more akin to the Slavic style rather than Baltic. He said it was more reminiscent of the Volin idol, an ancient Slavic wooden idol found by archaeologists in Poland in 1974, which likely portrays the god Svetovit. In his role as a sky-riding horseman, Perkunas is linked to some of the earliest Indo-European myths about heavenly riders found from Europe to the Indian subcontinent, such as the divine horse twins of reconstructed Proto-Indo-European mythology. The twins are thought to be the origin of recurring legends in different Indo-European cultures, from the Vedic Hindu Ashvins to the mythical Anglo-Saxon conquerors Hengist and Horsa. Dr. Young added, "It was the horse, after all, that brought the earliest speakers of the Proto-Indo-European language from the Pontic steppe, now Ukraine, into the rest of Europe and much of Asia." It seems that even this far, both in geographical and historical terms, from his homeland, Perkunas is still receiving offerings, with flowers and petals being laid at the foot of the idol. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe, and you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.